There's a certain pride that swells in a man's chest watching his family eat together, laughing, sharing, and leaving the table like they have tasted the best of life. It's a feeling that rises like a quiet flame, warmth that makes a man feel complete. Tonight I sit at the edge of the room, glancing at my phone, checking football updates, but my mind drifts between the screen and Kemi. I remember when Kemi was born. I spent 5 years swimming in panic, trying to learn to be the kind of father she needed, feeling my way through fatherhood like a blind man finding his path. And here she is, set to start nursing school next year by God's grace. Who would have thought? The same little girl that used to cling to my leg is long ready to step out into the world. Asike, my wife, comes over with her usual smile. Do you want me to serve your juice right there? Yes, I laugh. Make sure it has the pulp in this time, I joke. She's got this obsession with purity, always sieving things until there's nothing left but a glass of clear liquid that I could mistake for water. Thank you, dear. I remind myself to keep my gratitude. She gives me a look, but pours it with the pulp as requested, and I know she'll leave some things unsaid tonight. When Kemi and Daniel were little, Asike was everything. Up early, handling school pickups, meals, all of it. I see the value she's added, but things need to change. They call me blessed. I've got the dream job, the look, as if words could mask what they see. The jaw, too large, too square, too ready to take the blows he delivers. In the envy of their eyes, we're perfect together. All a curated lie. I am the charming host, smiling, laughing, as I crumble in quiet. They don't know the first time he hit me, or the 5th. I've stopped counting, or the way it landed on this jaw when I said I was done. What invisible burden are you harboring and carrying that you're afraid to share? Being vulnerable is more about just opening up, revealing your authentic self, sharing that deep emotion, that thought, who you are with the people that matter. I look around the room, my eyes settling on each member of my family. Kemi, Daniel, even Daniel's stray dog, which seems to be our newest dependent. Our kids are growing. They need to start taking care of themselves more. Maybe even find part-time jobs. Times have changed. What used to cost 20 naira is now 100 times more. And yet, we find ourselves facing bigger needs. School, excursion, food for not only 4, but that scrappy dog too. Daddy, Kemi's voice, sweet and soft, pulls me back. I pretend not to hear, but she's standing beside me, her eyes wide and bright like a child's, though she's 19. She tilts her head in a way that weakens me every time. I know she's about to ask for something. Yes, Kemi. My friends are planning a trip to Badagry, she says, her voice slipping into the innocence of a 9-year-old. They'll visit the enslavement museum and go to the sea. Can I go with them? What will it cost? I ask, already sensing that I'll end up saying yes, though the figure looms in my mind. Another unexpected need. 30K, Daddy, she replies, her face glowing in anticipation. As I think about it, I realize how much I admire her, my daughter, wanting her to experience life fully. But still, I can't help but feel the strain. So I give a non-committal answer. Let me think about it. But then Asike from the kitchen adds her voice. It's important, she goes, social capital is all. They've clearly thought this one through. I whispered to a friend. A grain of truth spilled, and what did I get? Advice wrapped in pity. And a hint to fix the cause. Like a surgeon could carve away my shame. My mother says I'm lucky to thank God for a man with wealth and status. Her voice echoes with lessons in patience, in prayer, in swallowing pain whole. So the neighbors do not talk. Shame is worse than bruises, she says, reminding me of our own banishment when my father cast her out. A child who does not feel embraced by a village will burn it down to feel its warmth. So there's this thing about this concept about alpha male and now alpha female, but somehow it intensifies that idea that masculinity means strength, don't show weakness, control, don't open up, just be rigid. And that also intensifies that now that there's the movement of alpha female, what are we actually saying? And how do you think this concept, plays down to the expense of emotional openness, right? Is there space for an alpha male or alpha female to be vulnerable? Because when you look into what's always posted about alphas, what you tend to see is dominance, control, on emotional confidence, and that this is the model of how a strong leader should be. But this also on the other side now brings this kind of emotions and ethic into the process of leadership, and leadership now representing and becoming a role model for younger generation to look up to and say, okay, if I'm going to be a strong leader, I have to be dominant, I have to control, I do not need any emotions, I do not need to be open about my emotions. How is this impacting our society? That night I try to sleep, but sleep evades me as it often does. Sleep needs a nap. Thoughts ponder against my mind, unrelenting. The more I struggle to rest, the faster my heart races, sweat pools on my skin, a strange tightness in my chest. What if I don't make it through the night? What if something happens and I'm not here to support Kemi, to see her through school, to help Asike, who would be lost without me? My breath turns shallow and my mind races in spiral. I can't make my mind move my hands. They are numb. Should I wake her? What will she think? But this fear inside feels larger than anything I have faced. I whisper, Asike, wake up, and hope she won't panic this time. She's instantly alert, knowing it's more than just a bad dream. Oh dear, I must have forgotten to put your sleeping tablet in the juice. Halfway between worry and frustration, she hurries towards the door. Sweetheart, wait, call Obi, please. My voice betrays how scared I am. No, I am calling Dr. Collins, she concludes. Before I could inform her about the true cost of Dr. Collins' midnight home visit, she has disappeared into a panicked phone conversation with Dr. Collins. Dr. Collins arrives to perform her usual routine, checking my blood pressure and giving breathing exercises. But her advice, long and impersonal, feels like a weight itself pressing on me. As she explains things to Asike, I hear her saying I am overworked, stressed, and probably sleep deprived. This revelation is not really news to me. Asike tries to understand, but the concept is foreign. Everything is fine, she tells Mr. Collins, almost as if to reassure herself. The kids are doing great, we are happy. I pretend to sleep just to end the conversation. Barely did it end, another began downstairs. Daniel's voice low and tense. "Is Daddy very ill?" he asked. I can hear Asike's shaky attempt to use men's midlife crisis as a reassurance. This is not a way of life, I accept to myself. I am tired, but recovered enough to walk downstairs. Their gaze pierces through my soul, demanding I find the words. I look at them all, my family. The words stick, but I push through. I am having panic attacks. I need your support. In their eyes, I see shock, fear, even understanding. But in that moment, I feel, perhaps for the first time in years, that it is okay to let them see the man behind the pride. I can't tell my friends, I can't tell my mother. Who can I tell without their scorn, their jokes, their hard wisdom? How can I trust anyone not to strike me down with their judgment or wrap me in pity I didn't ask for? I don't need their pity. I just need their ears. I just want them to see me, the hidden me, the fragile me behind this jaw of stone. Maybe if someone listened, maybe if my words could rise from the depth of my soul, I could summon the courage to live and keep my jaw whole.